And on the Canadian men's national team as well, from El Terrifico, is Davies as CanMNT's captain something that is set in stone for 2026, or is it complicated? And have fun with this one.
I don't think it's complicated at all. No,
He's the captain.
I think he's the captain. It would take something drastic. I can't see that being something that is bad PR that you want to take the captaincy away from him. Yet he's still on the pitch. He's on the pitch. He's going to be one of your best players, and he's the face of the program. So I really can't see that changing at all. And I don't think that it's a bad thing. It seems like the guys are a unit. There's been a lot of talk about the brotherhood being divided, and I think it's gone in a new cycle. But it seems like the team recognizes that Alphonso Davies flies the flag proudly and has carried the team to a new level, and they're all playing for each other again. So I can't see that changing.
I mean, heck, in some ways, like, he was the captain of this World Cup to start off with. Like, he gave that speech back in 2018 or whatever it was when they awarded the World Cup to the United bid. And he was, right at the core of that. He was already the face of the program well before then, really, given his stardom with the Whitecaps at such a young age that, he's been the captain of this project from the start, and Canada has grown around him. He's led the way for Canada, that I imagine that he'll have the armband when the World Cup opens, and it seems like it elevated his performance at the Copa America as well. We don't know what this summer could potentially involve. Could there be some blow up that Davies is no longer the leader that he was at the Copa America? Sure, that could potentially happen, and I think you probably go to Eustaquio in that world if that potentially happens. But Davies at this point is going to be the captain for the World Cup.
Well, I mean, he's been the captain for like about 6 months, so I think that's something where this is especially at his age, this is always from Jesse Marsh an investment for the future, right? I think it's something where you want him to grow into that role, and ideally you're looking at 2026 and beyond of something where he'll have really stepped up from where he was 6 months ago on a leadership front. But the reality is he's been the leader on the pitch for this team since about 2018, 2019 already. So that's something where I don't think that side has changed in terms of the leadership rank. If anything, the armband was a lot of managing off the field, being a leader, more speeches. Even on the field, you kind of shift your responsibilities a bit from trying to be the guy to just being the right guy, right? Sometimes that's being a leader. You end up sacrificing. You end up, wanting to be there for helping your teammates. We saw a lot more of that from Davies in a great way, some of his top performances. So I think for Davies, there was a plan for him to grow into this role. And yeah, there might be some growing pains. That's natural. We almost have to remember that he just turned 24, about a month and a half ago. So it's something where I think we're going to see the fruits of that decision, if so, with what Marsh is doing down the road.
One of the things that I think diehard Canadian fans struggle with and hate to hear is that the sport is not as mainstream as we all believe that it should be. And the reality is 26 is going to be a bandwagon Olympic style event where everyone becomes an expert and everyone gets all hyped up as of April of 2026. All of a sudden, it's 35 million soccer fans. The reality is we know that that's not true. From a business perspective, which Kevin Blue is running Canada Soccer as a business, Jesse Marsh was a business acquisition. Jesse Marsh understands how that to make the business work for his footballing program, and he's taken the men's team up to 31st in the world. This isn't a shot at Stefan Eustaquio, and maybe he's not playing for Porto next year, but there's a different sell to a country that's not really soccer fans when the captain of your national team plays for Bayern Munich as opposed to the captain of your national team playing for Celtic or Porto, right? And that's not a shot at Alistair Johnson either. That's just kind of the reality. So Alphonso Davies, has always had I guess this expectation that he would be the captain. You reference him, giving the speech with his braces, talking about how proud he was to be Canadian, and he was, becoming an MLS star as a teenager. Everyone expected, him to kind of grow into this role, and to be honest, he's exceeded all expectations. So, yeah, barring anything wild and crazy, I'd be very, very happy with Alphonso Davies being the captain.